Hello and welcome back to another episode of Track Talk. Today we are joined by Qbalt. Thanks for joining us, dude.
Hello.
And we are talking about Qbalt's track Lark, which I think has been largely overlooked. It's a wonderful track, and it kind of implements scenery in a very, I guess I would say, not minimalist, a very well timed manner. Like scenery is not overblown. I think everything flows very well. So yeah, first thing I would ask is what's the history of this track?
Well, I did. The plan was to have a desert looking biome, I guess. And I do have this one file where I used the pencil tool to replicate it, I guess. But it didn't really work out as planned because so many unused lines and whatnot didn't agree with me. Um, yeah, I wasn't really pleased with the first few seconds, so
Fair
I had to
enough.
scrap it, and then we had the luck we have today.
Oh yeah, well, I'm glad you did, I guess.
Me too.
Yeah. So what made you go for the desert theme? Like, what inspired like this particular um, kind of landscape that you have?
Well, I did some research on what a lark is, and they live in deserts for the most part, so I wanted to do that, I guess.
All right, fair enough. Straight to the point. So, so yeah, you say this is about a lark. So, yeah, one of the questions I was going to ask is about like what's like the journey that we're seeing on screen? Because in a lot of ways, obviously most line rider tracks are A to B, so it tends to be if you make a landscape track, there is a sort of journey happening. But this track kind of reminds me a bit of like it's kind of like in the style of like Jagged Peak Adventure almost. Like there's definitely like a journey going on. So was that like something you set out to do, or did it just kind of evolve?
I think it was just a byproduct. I wasn't really planning on it being a journey or whatnot. It just turned out to be that way, and side effect of my scenery.
Yeah, yeah, totally. Have you seen other tracks like Jagged Peak Adventure, for example, or ones in the same kind of style?
I have actually. Um, I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. JPA was actually the first track I ever saw, so I guess it means something to me. But yeah, so I mean, I said something earlier about the way your scenery is quite well placed. So would you say minimalism or just like keeping it simple is quite important to the way you would approach a scenery track?
Yeah, I would. I
Okay.
mean, I'm not the best when it comes to detailing, and when I do, it kind of goes south pretty fast. So I try to keep it minimalist, but still get the point across. Like these are dead trees because there's no leaves on them, but you can still make out that it's a tree.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I mean, I've definitely gone down the rabbit hole of trying to over detail stuff, and it just turns into a mess, really. So I totally agree with the approach. But
Oh yeah.
yeah, one of the other things I like about this is the continuity. Like you kind of go from a desert landscape to almost kind of a grassland, but it's quite a gradual change. So,
Yeah.
did you have that like in mind for the beginning, or again, is this just something that evolved?
Well, I think it was something that kind of just evolved because I mean, the song kind of made it have that rainy feel to it, so I went for a plains feel.
Oh yeah.
So as we go further, the music changes its tone.
Hmm.
All right.
Yeah.
So right now, this is like just the constant theme from the whole beginning of the song, and then it changes. So that's what made me feel like the whole grassy plains type of thing,
I
and
see.
it worked out.
Yeah, it's nice, man. I really like the style of grass you used also.
It was really painful.
Did you use much of the copy and paste tool, or did you just individually draw all of those?
I individually drew all of those. So
Oh, wow.
it would have probably been wise to use copy and paste, but I wanted to just freehand it and have different lengths without going with the hassle of
Yeah.
like adjusting them.
Oh, yeah, sure. Totally, man. Jeez. Yeah, so I mean, you spoke about the song, and one of the things I really like about this song is it's quite hypnotic. And this is one of the things I've always enjoyed about tracks by Mr. Doodle Noodle. Have you ever seen that guy? Or he also goes by Reventy. You ever seen any of his tracks?
Yep.
Yeah,
I've watched all of them actually. That when I made Lost, one of my very older tracks, one of my best ones in my
yeah.
opinion, I took inspiration from that guy,
Mm.
and I absolutely just love their work.
Yeah, I feel like Reventy is pretty
I kind of
underrated.
wanted to do some music as well, so
Yeah, like the music is yeah, it's very reminiscent, and it's like you have a similar style. I mean, yours is more like concrete, I guess, in a way. Like it's not just it's like Mr. Doodle Noodle is like more abstract, I guess, but like both
oh
styles
yeah.
work like extremely well. So did you kind of implement that into the scenery at all? Like, did you want to like have an atmosphere of like a kind of dream going on, or did you just really like the music?
I really liked the music. It was peaceful. I thought I could sing it well. So I did my best. And I don't think I was going for a dream effect, more of just Bosch riding through a desert into maybe a grassy biome.
Yeah. So
I
it's
just
kind
got
of
that
like,
dream effect just because.
yeah, I mean, the music kind of creates it, but it's also just kind of a surreal thing anyway. So like it fits like quite well.
Hmm.
But I mean, I guess Vosh in a desert is kind of a surreal concept anyway. But
That's what my parents thought.
yeah. So what was your approach to the style of the scenery specifically? So like you have fairly like those clouds, for instance, they're all like composed of individual lines, and then you kind of vary that depending on the scenery or monument. So what was your approach?
Honestly, I went through quite a bit of concepts like with the sand dunes. I had like the Discord community, the Line Rider community vote on which ones were better because I had no idea. I
Oh
just kind of
yeah,
went with whatever looks good stays.
oh yeah. That's always good.
Yeah.
It's always the best approach.
Yeah. So basically, the clouds. I think of clouds as fluffy, so I tried making like them individual lines to like I guess emphasize it.
Yeah,
So yeah,
yeah. Well, yeah, it's nice. I mean, I really like the way you drew those birds. It like works really well with the grass. Like it's kind of quite stark. It kind of
yeah,
gives you
pretty
that.
chubby.
It kind of reminds me actually of those like silhouettes you see of Pokemon when you play that
Ah,
game. Like it reminds
now
me of
that you mention it, yeah.
yeah, it kind of reminds me of like what is it like a Pidgey or a Spearow or something.
Oh
Well,
yeah.
I mean, all the people watching this, I'm dating myself. Yes, I'm a massive nerd. But yeah, I mean, going back to the track, one of the other things that really struck me a lot about this track is the way you drew in scenery at really kind of well-timed moments. So, like the best example of that I can think of is the sun you drew, like right in that kind of little flip. Yeah, we can go to that. This is another one,
Ah,
but yeah, that there you go. That one. That's really. It's so simple, but it's really effective and nice.
yeah. I have to agree.
Yeah. And do you just like, is that just your attitude basically? Like you just want to like kind of set things in a way so that they're not just like part of the background, but they're actually part of the track. Because that's something. Because I don't know if you've seen tracks like uh, what's it called? Is it Breathtaking Silence? The one by LRG. Have you seen that track?
No, I have, but now I think I want to.
Yeah, I mean, it's not really in the same vein as this. It's one of the most, from like a technical like drawing perspective, I guess. It's very, very
Oh,
impressive. But in terms of like synergy between the track and the scenery in it, there isn't really any. It's more like watching Bosch sled through like an art gallery in a sense. So
okay, that's really nice.
yeah, but like yeah, that has its own merits. But it's like I often like seeing tracks more like this, where there's a kind of actual proper synergy between track and scenery. Like what I'm seeing on your screen makes sense, and often in scenery tracks we tend to lose that in the older styles. So yeah, I mean, I guess I've kind of just made my whole point here without actually asking you anything. So, what do you think about like synergy between like what the track is doing and what you're actually drawing?
Well, I mean, I'm losing it. Please repeat the question.
Sure, no worries. So, what do you think about the idea of having synergy between the track and the scenery? Like, how
Well,
interwoven do you think they should be?
it all depends on what the creator, I guess, is going for. Like, if you want a story behind it, I guess have the scenery relate to the song or the track itself. But I guess if you want to just practice your skills and make Bosch go through like whatever you want, maybe like the art gallery. But I
Yeah,
think it's also like the creator's opinion and what they want to convey.
yeah, totally. I agree. But yeah, I think I'm biased. Like me personally, I prefer tracks like this, or like at least in the case of let's say breathtaking silence. If you're gonna make that, like just make a literal art gallery because you might as well at that point. But yeah, so I guess we've kind of covered themes and intentions. Yeah, how much did you pay attention to music sync in this track?
Not much at all. Because if we go back to the beginning, there's no sync whatsoever.
Yeah,
But I guess I was getting a bit bored from that. So then, after the song picked up like tone and speed,
yeah,
I started to sync it a lot more,
yeah,
like with dips and rises to fit the notes
yeah. Sure.
and the drum beat.
Yeah, which works very well. I mean, there's definitely like a balance that I think can easily be lost between just like mechanically syncing something and like actually, like you say, matching the tone and like the atmosphere of the music.
Yeah. And if I'm gonna be honest, it's still something I struggle today.
Mm,
And it comes to the speed of the song. Because usually when I do quirks and just flat sledding in general,
yeah.
Bosch is going slow. But I sync the notes. Whenever Bosch is going slow, he goes fast for some reason. So something I gotta work on, I guess. But
Yeah,
I feel like track it was done in my opinion almost perfectly.
yeah. I mean, this track for me is one of my favorites. Honestly, it's one of the
Yay.
tracks that I kind of think is like really overlooked, which kind of annoyed me a little bit. But you know, I guess different people want like different things. So, you know, the final thing I would ask is there anything, well, I guess you just said it's like a perfect track, so maybe this is a superfluous question. Is there anything you dislike about the track or anything you would change?
Yes. There is this one cactus where this one. What even is this?
Kind
It's
of
all
looks,
wonky.
yeah, I mean, I guess
I don't know.
cactuses probably
I,
grow that way sometimes. I don't
yeah, but in all honesty, I would definitely just change this. It's something that
know.
annoys me.
Oh, poor little cactus. Hey man, your cactuses are much, much better than mine. You've got nothing to worry about. Oh, Easter egg.
Yep. For anyone that like got to the track file, in case I shared it, you got a muscular Simba.
Oh, he's got some Thick thighs, my dude.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
Oh
sweet.
god. I genuinely forgot about it.
That's pretty funny. Um, yeah, all right. So, unless you have anything else you'd like to talk about in this track, I mean, I think I've exhausted my questions at this point.
Um, I guess when it came to making this track, I was definitely doing different styles, and then just drawing animals. Because can you tell that's a snake?
Well, when you zoom in, it has the head of a bird, but when you zoom out, it looks like a snake. There we go.
Doesn't help that he's going a bit fast, so.
Yeah.
But, it's not that important. Oh yeah, scorpions.
Oh yeah, little boys there.
Yep. But I think that's all I have to say.
Scorpions, people. We've been given the true desert experience, and yeah, I just like this track. I'm glad I finally got to do a track talk on it. To be honest, I really like the sand dunes as well. I think the ones you chose were really good.
Yeah, if I'm gonna be honest, like 90% of the time and were the sand dunes.
Yeah,
They're everywhere.
yeah, they're freaking beautiful. But yeah, I guess that's all then. So thanks for joining us today, Qbalt.
Thanks for
And
having me.
yeah, no worries, man. And yeah, for all of you watching, leave a like or a dislike, I guess. It's a free country, and we'll see you next time. All right, bye bye.